Hello and welcome to Start Select, the Games Media Award nominated video game show from GameSpot UK. This week, Alex Kobe breaks numerous bones to bring us a hands-on with Tekken 6 on the consoles, and Luke Anderson goes hands-on with The Secret of Monkey Island on iPhone. We've also got competition prizes to win Tales of Monkey Island and Wallace & Gromit on PC, as well as announcing the winners of our Street Fighter 4 competition from last time. But first, let's check in with Splinter Cell Conviction. Ubisoft's E3 demo of Splinter Cell Conviction blew us completely away, so when we got the call to go hands-on with the game for the first time, we could hardly contain our excitement. Our playthrough allowed us to get a better feel for the game outside of the slick E3 showing, and we wasted no time trying out different approaches to the mansion scenario. Sam's trademark night vision goggles, which have been the iconic imagery of nearly every game in the series so far, will not feature prominently in Conviction. Instead, when you're hidden in shadow, a visual filter will help you distinguish enemies and interactive objects. According to the game's designers, you should feel like the ultimate predator in Splinter Cell Conviction. This means you no longer have to worry about hiding dead bodies, for example. You can now just take out enemies in a variety of different ways, such as jumping on top of them. We also got to try out some of Sam's new hostage-taking capabilities. If you approach enemies and hold the X button, you can hold and interrogate them, and then press X again to execute them. You can also push forward in the X button to throw hostages into other enemies. Finally, effective killing allows you to queue up mark and execute assassinations, which allow you to mark up enemies or lights before entering a room, and then kill them immediately once you've activated it. Sam is much more athletic this time around, and he can move along ledges, open windows, and pop up to take out enemies silently. He also employs a combat skill called Krav Maga, which is an Israeli tactical defense system.
Like candy, man. Probably wants a new flavor.
Splinter Cell Conviction is shaping up incredibly well at this stage, and while it's disappointing to hear that it's been pushed back to early 2010, we're happy that it's getting more time to be polished up. We'll definitely have more on the game in the very near future.
What the fuck, man? I've been sitting on meds since breakfast.
Right, time to lace your gaming stockings with a cacophony of freebies now. On the last show, we had 5 copies of Street Fighter 4 to give away on the PC. All you had to do was answer this question. Which actress played Chun-Li in the recent movie Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li? The answer was Kristen Kruk, and the winners are Martin Huggett from Preston, David Wilkinson from Newark, Dave Yeoman from Darlington, Richard Armstrong from Northern Ireland, and finally Nathan Mitchell from Worthing. Congratulations to all you guys. We just hope you didn't have to watch the film to find out that answer. This week, we've got 4 copies of 2 of Telltale Games' best adventure games to date. They're Tales of Monkey Island and Wallace & Gromit on the PC, and all you have to do to win a copy is answer this question. In which US city are Telltale Games headquartered? If you think you know the answer, email it to us at competitions@gamespot.co.uk with your name and address, and we'll draw the winners on an upcoming show. Now, let's go and check in with Luke Anderson and his flashy iPhone 3GS for a look at The Secret of Monkey Island.
One of the most beloved adventure games of the last 20 years, The Secret of Monkey Island is back, and in all new high-definition glory. LucasArts revealed The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition at this year's E3, alongside a new episodic adventure, the PC's launch of the Screaming Narwhal, but certainly surprised everyone when an iPhone version was released roughly 1 week after it arrived on the Xbox 360 and PC. So just how does Monkey Island shape up in handheld form? We loaded it onto an iPhone and set sail for Melee Island to find out. Monkey Island is part of LucasArts' classic point-and-click adventure series. The game was released almost 20 years ago, back in 1990, and went on to spawn 3 sequels over the coming decade. Monkey Island sets you in the swashbuckling shoes of would-be pirate Guybrush Threepwood. Seeking fame and fortune, he arrives on Melee Island, situated deep in the Caribbean, and embarks on 3 quests to prove to a bunch of important-looking pirate chiefs that he's worthy of becoming a member of the pack. The game combines point-and-click puzzle solving with an outrageous storyline written by Penny Arcade Adventures' Ron Gilbert and Brutal Legends' Tim Schafer, and features line after line of witty dialogue that's become the staple of geek speak for years.
Well then, Thriftweed. Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood. I see. So, you want to be a pirate, eh? You look more like a flooring inspector.
To solve the secret of Monkey Island, you'll need a sharp wit to collect and combine objects into puzzle solutions. Along with talking to the townsfolk for clues, you'll eventually piece together the correct solution. The most dramatic improvement to the original is the all-new graphics, which follow the more caricatured look seen in the Curse of Monkey Island and Launch of the Screaming Narwhal. Threepwood, Marley and the rest of the cast have come to life in crisp detail, and it's great to see the world of Monkey Island in such a vibrant recreation. We experience the occasional drop frame here or there, but otherwise the iPhone does a great job of recreating the fun of this timeless classic. And the experience plays virtually the same as the Xbox 360 version, but in handheld form.
I feel so lucky that you happened to capture my ship and murdered me and everyone on board.
In addition to the new graphics, the special edition also includes some superb voice acting, breathing fresh life into all of the game's characters. If you're an old school fan, then fear not, as LucasArts has also included the original version with its classic lo-fi graphics. You can seamlessly switch between the two versions on the fly simply by swiping the screen with 2 fingers. While the original doesn't have the option to hear the new voice acting, the experience is exactly how we remember it, and it's a great inclusion. Monkey Island's point-and-click interface seems perfectly suited to the iPhone, and we're pleased to report that it works great. You can choose from a preset list of verbs, such as use, open, pick up, and then click directly onto an object or person to interact with them. You can access your inventory by clicking on the bottom toolbar, and use this to combine items, or use them with other objects or people. It seems a bit odd that the cursor doesn't reposition itself to where you touch the screen, so at times your finger will reach the edge of the screen and you'll have to drag the cursor several times to the desired place. If you get stuck at any point, you can flip the iPhone to access the main menu, or shake it to access the all-new hint system. The first clue for any situation is usually quite vague, but if you're really in a bind, you can keep shaking your iPhone until the full solution reveals itself. If you don't want to resort to hints, you can simply pass the time by engaging in some amusing banter.
I step away from the counter for 2 seconds and some idiot's already ringing that stupid bell.
The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition is a faithful recreation of the original, adding well-delivered dialogue, a new soundtrack, and crisp graphics to a beloved old friend. The iPhone version is priced at £4.99, which is about £2 less than the 360 version, and if you prefer gaming on the go, then it's definitely worth considering as a worthy alternative.
I don't believe it! You faced the beast I've feared all these years! You are a brave man after all!
I found the treasure of Melee Island and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Oh, Guybrush.
Hi, I'm Alex Asun-Kobe, and this week I'm taking a look at Tekken 6. The most important thing for Tekken fans to know about Tekken 6 is that it is indubitably Tekken. Everything that made all the previous games the great fun they were has made it through to Tekken 6 intact, and the game is looking as good as you'd expect for the franchise's long-awaited full next-gen debut. The character roster is nothing short of ridiculous, with over 40 characters playable in the standard arcade and versus modes, many of whom have new outfits alongside more traditional ones. Among this mind-bending roster are 6 all-new characters, 4 introduced when the first Tekken 6 machines hit Japanese arcades in 2008, and 2 more who came in when the Bloodline Rebellion expansion was released several months later. Of these, the most fun by a stretch is Alyssa Boskonovich, the latest robotic character to enter the fray. She has a bewildering array of moves, many of which seem to involve her growing wings, losing limbs, or, in at least 2 cases that we found, actually losing her head. Another useful trick Alyssa has up her sleeve, in this case literally, is a pair of chainsaws that can be extended from her arms at will, opening up a new set of moves, which includes swipes, throws, and general arse-hattery of the highest order. She doesn't play very much like any other character in the series, which makes her something of a handful to deal with at first, but overall she doesn't seem overpowered. As with many characters, she is particularly weak when changing stances, which makes up the added power of her chainsaw-based attacks. This can be compensated for by the use of offensive combos that end with a switch to the new stance, but these are sufficiently hard to pull off, like other stance dancing combos from the likes of Lei, martial law and others, that again this doesn't look likely to cause a problem. Lars Alexandersson, an illegitimate son of Heihachi, and a Swedish officer in Tekken Force, also made his debut in Bloodline Rebellion, and he's still looking good in the console port. He plays in a much more orthodox manner, as we reported back when it first hit arcades, and will provide another string to the bow of those who enjoy fighting with the Jin Kazuya family of characters. Other much-loved characters and alternates return as expected. Roger Jr. is still absurd, Panda makes an appearance being as belligerent as ever, and some of the current roster return with impressive costume changes. The level of detail on Devil Jin is particularly good, with his seriously blinged up gauntlets a sight to behold. Yoshimitsu costume changes are set to be another highlight, with his standard get-up now seeming to be made from entrails, and a cardboard cheap samurai costume promised. Tekken 6 is shaping up to be, well, Tekken 6. It doesn't do anything revolutionary, but it's a good looking step forward in terms of variety and sheer silliness. The console version is looking better than when we first saw it, and hopefully come the end of the year it will be able to sit alongside its arcade cousin with nary a hint of embarrassment. Stay tuned to GameSpot over the coming months for more on the game. We should get our long-awaited first look at the game's impressive and possibly revolutionary online features very soon.
That's all for this episode of Start Select, but remember you can subscribe to us in iTunes, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/GameSpotUK, and get in touch with us on the email at startselect@gamespot.co.uk. Drop us a line, let us know what you think of the show, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon.